Welcome back, guys. Lego purchase. So this was released on the 1st of January and I've had it sitting since then, and there she is, the Lego Speed Champions DeLorean. I've been waiting for this. Absolutely brilliant. I can add it to the other one from upstairs. Just get rid of that box there and let's get into it. Top box, we've got 1, 2, 3, some stickers, one of those, a few of those, and our instruction manual. So set 77256. And it's 357 pieces. So we'll scan that for our insider points shortly. So again, looks like we've got a bit about the time machine there. And yeah, off we go. So that paper bag. With a couple of paper bags inside, so that's everything out of one. Straight away you can see some minifigs. So we got a minifig of the Doc and Marty. Right, we got it in there. They can go with definitely go with the others. Let's get it all out on the table. So this is the Marty minifig, is it? Oh yeah, it's got, I quite like that. It's got a body warmer, which is pretty cool. Goes over there, over the head part. Now, which is double-sided heads on that one, so we'll go with that one. And then look for his hair, which is here. Yep. And there we have Marty. So we'll pop him there. Then we've got Doc Brown. He appears to be carrying a spanner. We'll have it with the plaster side, I think. So remember when he falls off the toilet, hits his head on the porcelain. And in the first film, he's got a little plaster on the top of his head there, which is a nice little touch. So we'll pop that there. There's the spanner that we can pop in his hand there, and we can pop him there next to Marty, and then off we go with the build. So not sure how big this is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be a similar size to probably the F1 cars or something along those lines, but until we get into it, not really sure. But we're off on the build. So we've got 4 of these going around like so. be interesting to see. I mean, we've got the big DeLorean upstairs. Obviously, we've done the review on that and the build on that, so it'd be interesting to see just how different this one is compared to the one upstairs. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And then we've got another one of them there and another one there. Let's see if the build techniques on this one are any different, or whether there's any new interesting build techniques on this one. There it is. And we've got two of those, is it? Yeah, one there. And one there. So I'm trying to film on the GoPro and the iPhone tonight, and I've got a mic rigged up to see which is going to give me the best, not only film quality or video quality, but also sound for you guys watching. And so if you notice any markable difference, let me know. Also let me know whether you like it or don't like it. Hopefully you'll like it, because this is a new set, new build. So that's the first part. This part here looks to be the same, whichever way round you put it. So this is going to give us some idea of the size of the car. So we've got two red bricks there. I watched a very interesting TikTok the other day, young lady explaining, and I will have to try and remember what she said, explaining what all the different coloured bricks like these red pieces meant. Found it quite interesting, things to do with where they should be in the vehicle, designated moving parts and things like that. So it really was quite interesting. We've already skipped a stage there, so we need 4 of these grey things in here, because we don't want to be skipping any stages. If you're following the Millennium Falcon build, that's coming along nicely, but we did have a couple of parts there that didn't seem to be going together quite right. We were on stage 240, I think, and I took it right back to stage 140 to find out that we'd accidentally put one piece just ever so slightly out, which had thrown the entire thing out on one side. So it just goes to show how important it is to make sure that you follow the plans precisely, because one small thing like that and you've got to go back nearly 100 stages to find out where I made the mistake. So, but we got there, we found it, and we corrected it, which is good. So as soon as this set got released, I just knew I was going to have to get this, and for just £20 odd, definitely knew that it was going to be coming home at some point. So I had it on pre-order, and sure enough it arrived on the 2nd of Jan. So it's just taken me a while to get round to building it, and this is the first build, ironically, of 2026, because I've been so busy, I haven't been able to get round to building anything. But hopefully we will be now back on track with the builds and everything. But I'm going to fire these things in. A lot of things going in the floor pan, I should say, if I can get my words out. And then how many of those do we want? Oh, one of those. And one of those, which we've already popped in. So we're at that stage now. And now it looks like we're building the time circuit controls, which is that little sort of printed brick circuit there. And then we've got, oh right, it's one of those with that on the top. Oops, slippery. And a little, that's our time circuit control knob in there. So we can turn our time circuits on. We've got a gear shifter. Nice little touch there. Now we're going to be building up the sides from here. Just that one. And where's the other one? There. Two of those that come round there, one each side. Two wheel arches next, which are going to go, oops, there. Now, number one was quite a big bag, but it's gone together really smoothly. So that goes there. We then got a central piece there, and those two pieces there, and those on the side. Like so. And then our first two pieces of the sort of glowing bit that goes sort of right round the DeLorean. That sort of sits there. That's the first one. And the second one, it's a nice touch, the sort of pattern on that there. I don't recall being on the big set. So there we go. We've then got 2 of those to fit around there. Obviously we're going to have some spare parts. Okay. Yeah, no, it is there. Just double checking. Okay, so that's the end of stage 1. Yeah. So we've got basically the outline of a chassis. There's going to go 2 more wheels here. It's not going to be a massive build, but it is going to be an interesting one, I think. So we've got 7 spare parts in that bag there, and then we'll be on to bag 2. Welcome back everybody, bag 4 now. So this is really quite a nice little build so far, and it has some really quite interesting build techniques, especially around the components up here that supposedly make the time machine work. So this is my second Lego DeLorean. The first one, you can watch a video on that. That's on the YouTube channel, and it is the big set. I've also put a lighting kit on that. Why two DeLoreans? Is it because I'm a Lego nut, or is it because I'm a Back to the Future nut? It's actually both. I love Lego. Got back into it around about 2020 when COVID struck, or towards the end of COVID. I'd got this idea of sort of rejuvenating my old Lego sets, most of which we've done. Now we have one more to do, and so there's still a little work to be done there, and I started restoring it around 2020. I did a couple of sets, and then obviously we all had to go back to work after being furloughed and things like that. So what happened was it stopped, and it stopped for a long time, and then before I knew it, it was 2024, and my partner kept saying to me, she said, you know, I was getting twitchy. She said, you need a hobby and something to do. So that's when the Lego sort of came back, and for my birthday that year, she got me what had just come out then. I think it was the new improved version of the LL928. So what happened was I had that, and I was addicted. I didn't actually film the building of that, and then I kind of remembered that I wanted to do this and restore all this Lego from when I was a kid. So that's when it all really started in earnest at the beginning of 2024, or end of 23, beginning of 24. And quite a lot of sets later now, we've almost completed the original sets that I have. We've really got one more of those, the big car to do, and once that's complete, that's all my original Lego done. And just looking for, oh, there it is, the nice little printed brick there of the time machine circuits. Sorry, as I was saying, we need another decal, which is number 5. So I then at the beginning of 2024 or 23, I can't remember now, it's all merging into one, I decided to video all of this, and that's what brought us here. Everything I have read about YouTube channels says that you have to keep plugging at them, and one thing I am is persistent and consistent. So we have kept chugging away, and here we are 2 years later, and we are getting regular videos, getting well over 1,000 views, and we've got followers, a lot of followers on TikTok, quite a few on YouTube, and things like that. So it's definitely been well worth the journey that we've come on, and I do thoroughly enjoy it. You know, doing the builds, having a bit of a chat. Haven't done many lives. I think maybe a few live streams this year, and we might try a few of those. They're not. There's something I get quite nervous about, the live streams, and because it's just something I get a little nervous about, doing live streams, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like things to be as good as I can make them. Probably wouldn't realise that watching some of the videos, but I do like to try and make them as good as I can and as interesting as I can for the people watching, and I hope they come across that way. But these builds I have really enjoyed. Now, back to the future. I don't know if anybody else is with me, but I believe that I was born in 73, if you check the bio, and I believe, quite honestly, that Back to the Future was the best film ever made. So that's why we now have 2 DeLoreans, and why we do the Lego. But yeah, anybody else, leave a comment if you think Back to the Future was the best film, or is the best film ever made in my book. I thoroughly enjoyed them all, and I've watched them countless times, absolutely countless times. So as soon as this set here was going to be launched, then I knew full well that it was going to have to be added to the collection. So with the price point being as cheap as it was, it had to go straight on pre-order, which it did. And it arrived, as I say, at the beginning of January. And here we are now, building it. But they have been fantastic builds, and I can't believe, you know, I mean, I've done a few of the F1 cars, as you've probably seen on the channel, if you are a regular on the channel, and you think some of the detail is good on those. I mean, this, how this one has been put together, it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. It's a gorgeous little model. So there we are. Takes us to that stage, and now a couple of little spare pieces there. We're on to bag 5, the final bag. Oh, little bag inside. All the parts out. We've also got 2 of these. It shows 2 of these attachments in there. Quite a few small parts in there. The big DeLorean, I don't know if you can set this particular model as different cars out of the franchise. I don't know, but the one I've got upstairs on display is set out from the second film in the series, Back to the Future 2. If you can choose, I will be setting this up from the first film, Back to the Future Part 1, because out of the 3 films, that was my favourite. The hood piece coming together there now, and now we're going to build some pieces in and across the front here in the light grey. So Back to the Future on a double bill at our local cinema with the Goonies back in 1985. I was age 12 at the time. Wasn't the first film that I went to the cinema to see with my mates. The first one we actually saw on our own with my mates was Raiders of the Lost Ark in 81. And I thought that was an epic film, and still is an epic film. I still love that film. But then, like I say, we went to see Back to the Future, and we were, safe to say, we were all just absolutely blown away by it. It was such a tremendously remarkable film, and how it all worked with the movie, the special effects back then were all sort of, they were real, they weren't computer generated, which to me made them a lot more interesting. Because they were real special effects, probably done with miniatures and models and all the rest of it. But there was so much in it, detail wise, there was you could watch the film time and time again, and I remember I used to watch it over and over. I had an old VHS video cassette of it, and I think I pretty much wore the tape out watching it. And when I say wore the tape out, I actually mean wore the tape out watching it. But every time you would watch it, you would see something new that you hadn't seen before, like when he goes back in time to old Peabody's ranch and knocks one of the twin pines over. I forget how many times I'd watched it until I realised that when he actually went back to the future, or back to 1985, that he knocks one of the pines down, and they've renamed the mall, or the shopping mall, Lone Pines Mall and not Twin Pines Mall, and things like that. It took me ages back in the day to notice that little change, and you know, there's loads of stuff in there that you can pick up time after time, just sitting and watching the movie, which is why I think I loved it. And I think for me, it hasn't even aged that much as a movie. It seems as fresh today, 45 years later, or 40, 40 years later, sorry, as it did back in 1985. So I think this is not quite the last, or is it the last one? It's number one, the GMC badge, or the DeLorean badge, or the CM, I can't even remember what it was. That's gonna go onto there. Which then is gonna go on to there. And we've got two, or no, just one of these parts now is going to make up some siding here. It's going to go on there. That piece is going to sit on there. Like so. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. Is that correct? That is not correct. I have put that. No, that is right. No, that is wrong. Because the part is the wrong way round. So let's just do the correct one, which is going to be that one. Pop that on there, and then this one needs to be this way around, and it is going to go on the other side here. That's just going to tie that together nicely. And then we've got our flexi pieces that are going to go all the way down the side of the car. They did these really well. In the larger version, these feel like they're going to be a little bit more tricky, but oh wow. I'll tell you what, let's try and pop that where it's supposed to go, and that where it's supposed to go. Of course, this is going to keep popping off. There we go. We're on. So that's the right way to attack that. And yeah, we're just putting the one on for the time being. And then we're going to go with these next pieces into there, like so. Again, just love the little detail in this model. And just look like that fits just in there so well. So now we've got to connect that to that, and then that clips onto there like so. Over the page. Oh no, we're still on this page. And then we're going to come down from there to there with that one, up from there to there, and then across like so. Fantastic detail. I think then, yeah, we're gonna switch the car around, and we're gonna do the same. I'll just connect those two bits first, like I did before. Down there, over there, onto there. Those are quite tight, but now they're in there, they're going to take on that form and that shape over time. So as you can see, they are quite tight. They might pop out a couple of times, but they're easily put back in. And that's probably what we're going to have to do a few times. Yeah, see, it's come loose again, just while there we go, that's a bit better if we move that out of the way. But yeah, so I'm going to pop that on, pop that on, and then the next piece. So we've got our blue lighting all the way around. And now we've got our two of these, which are going to go in there and come down here. I did wonder what those bits at the back were for, and now I know. So you've got two of those, and luckily they're angled in there and they move. Let's just get something to hold it there while I push it down and turn it in. Again, really like what they've done there. So now, actually, do I go that setup as number 2? I do like the Mr. Fusion thing. But I also like the plutonium. But we did say we're going to set this up as number 1, so we'll go to 1, 2, 2, because we're going to set it up as the original film and not the second film. Okay, so in goes our plutonium chamber. We've got 2 number plates. We've got our one from Back to the Future 2, but because we're doing number 1, we need the out of time one, which is going in the back there. We've then got our connecting rod, and that goes into there like so. Okay, and then we've got some wheels. Now I assume that these bits here are gonna be for if you want it set up as a different version. So which way round do these go? You would think that's the outside. Let's check. No, it is that way. Then we've got our 4 wheels. 1, 2, real good detail on the wheels. 3, and 4. Got some great spare parts. There it is. Pop in our wheels. So we've got our wheels on our car. And then it's just time to put Marty and Doc in the car. Because you can't have a time machine without these 2 guys. Whoops. Okay. Characters in. There we go. Oh, Doc's hair's standing up a bit there. Flux capacitor. Fluxing. So then, in the book, it goes on to make the fusion chamber, which is just that part there, which is fantastic. We've got the change of number plate, the one from Back to the Future 2, and like we thought, these here would fit under there to make it look like the car was flying, but we want it in this guys. But there we have it, the Speed Champions Back to the Future time machine. What a fantastic little build that's been. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So guys, hope you've liked that. I'm going to put some nice shots of this on after. But if you've liked watching, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you all again in the next one shortly. Thanks everybody. Cheers. Bye.